The cryptocurrency market is currently valued at more than $2 trillion. Now combine that with the gaming industry that has been growing since the release of Pong in 1972, and you get a synergy that's going to change the way we game. And with the lockdowns that started in 2020, US gamers have set a new spending record of more than $57 billion, which is 27% higher than in 2019. You can only imagine how big that amount would be if you also include the gaming market worldwide. And with the rise of NFTs or non-fungible tokens, crypto gaming, NFT games, or play-to-earn games, however you want to call it, is experiencing massive growth. New studios dedicated to the creation of these NFT games and even existing studios have announced their intentions of creating their own games and assets. Celebrities and brands such as Snoop Dogg, The Walking Dead, and many more have already jumped into the NFT craze. So with all that happening, that made me think about the opportunities to make some money here. So I started looking into these NFT games and I chose 5 games that I really like and I have added to my watch list. So the first one in my list is called the Sandbox. The Sandbox is a virtual world where players can build, own, and monetize their gaming experience. It's an open world game similar to Minecraft and Roblox, but in this case, you truly own the assets that you create in-game. Pixel, the game's developer and publisher, created the game to disrupt existing game makers like Minecraft and Roblox by providing creators with true ownership of their creations as non-fungible tokens, and then reward them for their participation in the ecosystem. Everything in their ecosystem is user-generated content, or UGC, and the Sandbox has made 3 platforms to make that happen and help players enjoy and earn within the game. The first platform is called the voxel editor, which allows users to create 3D models using pixel building blocks called voxels. You can create different objects, humans, tools, vehicles, or whatever in-game items that you can think of, and then animate them to make it more engaging. Once created, you can then export that model to the Sandbox marketplace where it becomes an NFT. Now, speaking of NFTs, the Sandbox also has something called the NFT marketplace, where it allows users to upload, publish, and then sell their NFT creations made in the voxel editor. And finally, they have what's called the Sandbox Game Maker. This platform basically allows users to create their own games without any experience at all by using easy-to-use visual scripting tools. You can use the assets you created in the voxel editor or assets that you bought in the marketplace inside the game to make it even more fun and engaging. The game utilizes 4 tokens that interact with different types of users: sand, land, assets, and games. There are a lot of things that can be said about this game, but I'm not gonna go over them, and there are though 3 things that I love about this game. The first one is that the developers really know what they're doing. Pixel has had massive success already from their 2 previous mobile games inside the same franchise. This is pretty cool because instead of actually branching into different types of games, they are more focused on making this specific game or this specific franchise expand. And now that they have decided to integrate blockchain technology to the game, it does indeed disrupt the traditional gaming experience. The second reason is that it's an open world game. Players can literally create their own games and have fun with it, whatever they want to do. And having an open world element is pretty much the main reason why Minecraft and Roblox is a success. And the third reason is that there is support from big brands and different partnerships. Like I mentioned earlier, Snoop Dogg is in this game, Atari, The Walking Dead, and even Smurfs, and partnership with Binance make this game very enticing. So I have an account in the Sandbox, but I haven't really had the time to try it out yet. Currently the game is in alpha and they have prizes for those who play in this phase. I am curious though on what I can do in terms of investing. So right now I'm just exploring the game and researching more about it. Now, aside from the usual selling of assets in the marketplace, I do believe that you can also use the land that you own and then rent it out to players so that you can generate some form of income. So the second game on my list is called Axie Infinity. Launched in 2018, Axie Infinity is a blockchain-based browser game developed by Sky Mavis, a Vietnam-based game developer. Axie Infinity closely resembles Pokemon, where you can raise, breed, and battle with NFT pets called Axies. In addition to that, you can also hold virtual real estate inside the Axie Infinity world called Lunasia, which holds more than 90,000 plots of land. And if you're asking about it, Axies and land are unique NFT assets that can also be sold in their marketplace if you're looking for income through the game. This game has been quite popular recently because of how it has been labeled as one of the most successful play-to-earn games. Axie Infinity was even used to replace lost income throughout the pandemic by countries such as the Philippines, Portugal, and Turkey, just to name a few. And then a recent news also broke out about a 27-year-old who left his job at Goldman Sachs to add Axie Infinity as another stream of income for him. Now the game uses two special tokens. The first one is called AXS, or Axie Infinity Shards. So this is the main token to play the game, and then the last one is called SLP, or Small Love Potions. This token is awarded to players for spending time in-game, and it can also be earned by battling other Axies or finishing in-game quests. There are three things that I like about this game, and the first one is that there is a very big player base. This game has been running now for almost 3 years, and their daily users keep on growing. This means that more people are investing in playing and breeding Axies. The second reason is that there is a planned UGC element. Games nowadays need to be engaging in order to create a sustainable environment, and having some sort of user-generated content ecosystem will be necessary in order to scale this game up. Axie Infinity has plans to include in their Lunacia SDK a map editor where players can create their own games using Axie art assets. And the third reason is AXS staking is available. Now I'm all about passive income, and staking is one of the ways that you can generate passive income in cryptocurrency. I'm really happy that this option is now available in the game. That way I can actually support the game's ecosystem without having me to religiously play it. So the third one on my list is called Spider Tanks. Spider Tanks is a multiplayer battle arena game developed by Game Media and published in the Gala Games ecosystem. It's quite an exciting project to me because it's a very esports-like game such as League of Legends or Dota 2, where players can compete against each other using characters. But instead of focusing on fantasy characters, Spider Tanks utilize mechanized creepy crawlers that are highly customizable and are also NFT assets. When I first saw this back in September, I wasn't really too excited about this game because it felt like a generic MOBA with mechas. And even to this day, I can't really pinpoint something, but at that time it lacked a certain element. But with the recent announcement of the game's play-to-earn mechanics, that got me to rethink about its potential. This is, after all, a channel dedicated to making money, saving money, and investing money. In Spider Tanks, you can earn rewards through 5 in-game roles. The first one is called a pilot, where you can build your own tank and then compete against another player and earn rewards. The second role is called a captain, where you basically collect tanks and then have pilots fight for you and then get a share of their rewards. And the third role is called a fabricator, where you can create your own factory and then create or design different tank components which you can then sell on the marketplace. The fourth role is called a baron. As a baron, you basically create your own maps, your arenas, your stadiums, and then when players use that map or arena to battle in it, you get rewarded for that. And finally, the last role is called an emperor. As an emperor, you have or you own your own planet, and then anytime players battle inside your planet, you get rewarded for that as well. So there are 3 things as well that I like about this game, and the first one is that the developer has a very good track record. Game Media is a game development company based in the Netherlands, and they have created hundreds of very successful games, and they have also used their technical expertise to help other game developers publish and design their own games. The second reason is that they have a very promising play-to-earn mechanics. Different roles that help you earn rewards are quite interesting because it gives the players flexibility to earn in-game. You can still earn rewards no matter what your strategy or play style is. If you're the type of person who is very active and you want to be on the ground, then you can be the pilot or be a captain and make your own team and then get rewarded for competing against other players. If you're more of a creator type person, you can become a fabricator, design your own tank components, and then sell it to the NFT marketplace. Or if you're more of a passive type of person and you'd like to get rewarded for the work that you've done previously, then maybe a baron or an emperor is the right role for you. The third reason is that it's an esports-like game. Esports is a very big industry, and if your game has this element, then the better. It gives the game a big competitive advantage because people can hold tournaments and compete for in-game or real-world prizes. And as for Spider Tanks, this was evidenced by the recent Seoul World Cup, where different teams played throughout the closed beta phase of the game. One thing that I'm a little bit concerned about though is the same thing that I'm excited about, and that is their play to earn mechanics. If players could earn on 5 different levels, then how are those rewards distributed on those levels? And with that kind of reward system, how will that be a sustainable model for the game? So I haven't found the answers to this yet because they just recently released the mechanics, but I'm sure that it's somewhere out there. And I know that people might have raised the same question as well, but still I'm quite excited for this game because when I looked at the gameplay mechanics and then the gameplay itself, it was pretty interesting. Was quite fun to look at. So the fourth one in my list is called Star Atlas. Star Atlas is a grand strategy, open world space exploration MMORPG where players can explore the vast emptiness of space, pilot different ships, engage in commerce and production, and battle with other players for resources and glory. Now, do you know what kind of game this actually reminds me of? Now, this is just me personally, but that is EVE Online. Now, instead of just spending so much time in-game without any rewards, you can do so in Star Atlas while also building your galactic empire. The game runs on the Solana network, which is a network that's popular because of its fast transaction speeds and low fees. This is very important because the game will experience multiple transactions per second. Players will be mining for resources, exploring worlds, paying taxes, and then creating and then trading assets. In Star Atlas, you can earn rewards from different in-game roles. Right now, those roles are the CEO, the bounty hunter, the repair, the freight, the miner, and then the managers. So there are three things that I really love about this project, and the first one is that it's an MMORPG. So this is more of a personal one. I really love MMORPGs because you have some form of control on how you play and experience the game. You can choose specific roles that contribute to the overall theme of the game, and in Star Atlas's case, there are 3 different factions that you can choose, which has certain advantages to them: the Ustors, the Mud, and then the Oni. The second reason is because of the game's scalability. Games like these are very massive in scope because they aim to kind of like recreate this hyper-realistic ecosystem to kind of like help players influence everything around them, from the things that they actually create or produce and then trade to the missions that they complete. Everything is connected to pretty much everything to some degree, and that gives this game limitless potential to scale up depending on what the game developers and community want. And the third reason is that it runs on the Solana network. It is known that the Solana blockchain is a very fast network that can handle more than 50,000 transactions per second. And like I mentioned earlier, it is very important for a game like this to be on that reliable network so that it can run smoothly without any interference. While doing my research, one big concern that a lot of people have brought up about Star Atlas though is about its development. The game's vision, the mechanics, and then the storyline actually is really great, but with a game this big, it could take years to finish it. A lot of those in the gaming community have likened Star Atlas to Star Citizen, a space exploration and combat simulation game which has been in development since 2010. Star Citizen still has no clear release date, even though it has already seen more than $400 million in funding raised. However, there are people very optimistic about this game, even though there are some sort of references to Star Citizens, and they have optimistic release dates of around 2025 to even as early as 2023. And the fifth and final game in my list is called Illuvium. This is one of the most highly anticipated games I've ever come across on my research, and every article and video talking about blockchain games to watch out for has this on their list. Illuvium is a collectible NFT RPG and open world game where you can mine, harvest, capture, and fight Illuvials, the game's unique NFT monsters. It's basically like Pokemon where you can capture monsters and then harness their power for your use later on, but in this case, you get rewarded from it. There are more than 100 Illuvials in existence, each with their own unique abilities, and they can also synergize with other Illuvials to give you certain bonuses for your team and make it stronger. Your Illuvials can also evolve into something stronger by this process they call fusion. Some Illuvials are very hard to find, so getting to a fused form of a certain Illuvial can be very hard. The game developers certainly has invested quite a lot in its marketing as seen on their cinematic trailer, but I do hope though that that's what the game is going to look like when it's released. One thing that I think is quite unique in the game's gameplay mechanics is that it's not just the monsters that actually can do battles, but also the players. The player can also be part of the battle while wearing armor and then some sort of weapons, and I just think that's pretty cool. There are 2 tokens used for the Illuvium ecosystem. The first one is called ILV, or that's the native Illuvium token. It's an ERC20 token that is the main token for the game and is also used as governance tokens. And then the second one is called SILV, or synthetic ILV. This is given to players for their combat rewards and for other in-game accomplishments as well. There are 2 things that I love about this game, and the first one is that it uses Immutable X as layer 2 solution. Now honestly, when I first read about this one, it didn't really make sense to me because I'm not a genius or kind of like knowledgeable about the technical aspects of blockchain technology. But by doing some basic research, I learned that the Immutable X protocol is basically an upgrade to the Ethereum blockchain. It addresses the biggest issues that users face in the Ethereum blockchain: slow transaction speeds, and high gas fees. With this protocol upgrade, transaction speed increased to 9,000 per second with no gas fees. And the second reason is that staking and yield farming is available. So this is what a lot of investors at Illuvium really want to see for this project because it is projected to be a very big one. It would be very profitable to have a platform that can reward stakers by helping the game run smoothly and securely. Having this feature implemented early before the game is fully released really helps with the marketing to as many users as possible. Illuvium is one of the AAA games worth looking for, and there is certainly hype behind it. I just hope that the developers truly deliver on their promise and make sure that the game continues to get updates even after it is released. So those are the 5 NFT games I'm currently looking at, and I'm very excited on how these projects will turn out and whether or not I can actually make sustainable income from it. While the crypto gaming is still in its early infancy and it's quite exciting, crypto games can be risky too. Their growth is highly dependent on the project's popularity, and since crypto gaming is a very new model right now, we really don't know how long that popularity will last. Gaming is a very big industry, and new games can just pop up easily out of nowhere, moving one player base to another, making the previous game lose its value. This is just something that developers, players, and even investors need to think about in order to adapt and make sure that it's sustainable for them. Game developers will have to keep innovating their games, add more features, and make sure to keep their community engaged. Players will need to be aware of a game's longevity and practicality if they want to use this one as a sort of income stream. And then on another hand, investors will need to also be aware about a game's tokenomics and all the other factors that kind of like circle around crypto gaming. This way they stay informed and they can generate results for their investments and avoid kind of like losing value on it. And that is all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching the entire video. I hope you found this one very informative and helpful. And if you have any questions regarding these games, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to answer them for you. And last question, from those 5 games, which do you think are you gonna try most likely? Because who knows, we might actually meet in game and we'll just have a party there. If you want more content just like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you get updated whenever I post content. And also I'm on Instagram at DailyDread. Please add me there so that we can chat, collaborate, and exchange some ideas. Thank you again so much for watching the video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.